Orchids! Oh my god! I love them so much. I love how different they are. I love, of course, their blooms, of course, their leaves. I just love everything about them. I am not an expert in any way. There's so many out there, and I just know a little bit of plant, and honestly, in a very humble way, every day I'm learning something new about them. They are just amazing. Today I want to share with you the way that I repot my Phalaenopsis. That is probably the most common and easy to take care of. I will be showing you a very kind of like eco-friendly way to reuse containers like the ones that you get from takeouts or at the grocery store. I will be doing that mainly because yesterday I was actually repotting this one, and I want to show you the process that I go through because it's really hard to explain it when I'm at the garden center. Yeah, I will be showing you how to repot something like this. That is actually what you get when at this point in life growers have mastered Phalaenopsis to the point that you can find them everywhere. They are somewhat affordable, they last forever, their blooms, and people don't really know how to properly take care afterwards because honestly they don't make easy for you. So yeah, let's get to it. The first thing we want to do is to actually soak whatever you have left for your plants in some nice, try to use water like tap water that you have left overnight, so the water somewhat gets a little bit like in a better quality. We will be working with a wet system of roots and moss because actually it's a lot easier to move the roots and to get rid of the moss. We will also need a soldering iron. That is these little machines that they get really hot, and you can use them to make holes into plastic. We like to reuse things in this YouTube channel. So right now we are using the pizza dough containers. This one actually was a takeout, like a Thai curry takeout container. Orchids need light, so because of the same you want to use a clear plastic. So I will bring you closer. As I mentioned, we like to reuse things in this channel, so for this one we will be only using the container. But you know, these ones do a really good job on keeping your furniture clean. As we talk about, we said that orchids actually like a lot of good drainage, so we will be actually using a lot of holes. I'll make this quick. This is very toxic and it's stinky, so here we go. Our orchids have been soaking for I want to say like a good hour, so the roots are a lot more flexible and good to be moved. So the main reason why orchids don't last, it's because they are packed with this moss. So this is sphagnum moss. It's very sad because this actually, it's a natural resource that grows in very specific environments. At this point, it's very easy to get it. It's just everywhere in garden centers, and it's kind of cheap to get it too. Unfortunately, it's medium that takes forever to grow. It's just very sad that we are not using it in the proper way or in a respectful way. The reason why growers put this medium into orchids, it's because it's light and it keeps a lot of water into the plants. So right now I am trying to get rid of most of it. The reason why these roots look like this, it's because this material is collecting too much water, and orchids, as I mentioned, or at least a Phalaenopsis, are meant to be in over the trees. So they're just getting too much moisture. So I am cleaning my way out, and I have 2 orchids to go through. So that one seems pretty good. I will probably bring these to my kitchen sink, where I can get rid of a lot more of that moss covering. So as you can see, the roots are actually covered in a layer that has been totally raw, and we want to get rid of that because that's where a lot of bugs and fungus and bacteria will live. So we just want to get rid of every single dead structure, nothing that looks like a nice healthy root like that one. Now these fibers are the actual root, and these things, it's kind of like different schools. Some people like to have them around. I personally feel that sometimes there's just too much of it, so I will get rid of most, but I'll keep some, so then there's some substrate where the plant can get into the substrate and stay attached. So for example, in this one, you want to get rid of that section in the back because there are some black spots and potentially some fungus living there. So now that I saw that, actually, I will just be bringing this plant to the sink. Same with this one, and give them a nice wash and bring them back. I'll be right back. We are back with our Phalaenopsis that have been totally clean, and any leftover of the moss is out. This pot's gonna be a great size. Orchids like to be in the same container for many years in terms of the size. Of course, you can repot them once that they are done blooming, but they can be in the same size container for a long time. So this one, just because of the amount of roots that it has, this is a perfect size. As we talk, orchids grow on top of the trees. The medium is actually a bark medium. So they have a lot of chunks of different hardwood trees. They also have some perlite and some charcoal. Everything to provide the right medium. There's some moss as well. Each plant will be different. So for example, a healthy plant will need a different medium depending on the state and the right health of the plant. Because these guys have been struggling so much, I know that they don't need to be in a very wet environment. So I will make sure not to water them too much. I will always start by putting a layer down, just because there's not enough roots here. And I will be using a chopstick because orchids like to have the roots really packed. So right now I'm just filling these up, of course keeping the plant in the right position where we really want it to be, and just packing it really well with the substrate. Sometimes on the side of the pots you can see that there's gonna be more gaps, so that's why the chopstick, it's a really good resource. Something that I found out, I like to put bigger chunks of bark to kind of keep the orchid really tight in its new pot, because once that the orchid is really loose, it doesn't really work. They like to be packed in their new container, because this orchid has been in such a poor care, and actually the roots, the leaves are not looking the best. It's gonna be alright. I can tell that that's gonna be secure and safe. Maybe I can do a better job. But that's getting there really well. I'll go ahead with the second one, and I'll be right back. A lot of times, and I get this all the time at the garden center, people think that putting a couple ice cubes, it's really good. These guys are tropical, so they don't know the ice. So the best way to water your orchids is actually with room temperature water, and actually a little bit warmer. Like, think about a tropical rain. It's usually kind of like, it's not cold water. So I always like to use like a bowl or a Pyrex in this case, and very slowly I just soak all the way up and let it sit there for a good hour, and that's probably the best way to take care of your plants. I believe that the ice cube, it's not a good way. The plants really get chill, and even though we want to stress them out to stimulate the blooming cycle, that's probably not the best care. So there you go. Hopefully these plants will be nice and happy and blooming again for the next video. So thank you.